In the next 90 seconds, you are going to make a judgment. It won't be a conscious one. You won't weigh the pros and cons. You won't rate a spec sheet. Before you have even finished processing the shape of an object or the price on a tag, your brain will have already decided if you trust it, if you want it, or if you hate it. According to a seminal study by the University of Winnipeg, this judgment happens in less than 90 seconds. And here is the terrifying part. Between 62 and 90% of that assessment is based on one thing alone: color. We like to think we are rational economic actors. We believe we buy the car because of the gas mileage, or the phone because of the processor speed. We are wronged. We are biological machines, wired by millions of years of evolution to react to specific wavelengths of light in ways we cannot control. To your ancestors, color wasn't an aesthetic choice. It was a survival mechanism. Red meant ripe. Green meant safe. Blue meant water. Gray meant deaths. Today, the jungle is gone. But the wiring remains. And the world's most sophisticated companies have hacked this wiring. They aren't just choosing a palette because it looks nice. They are engineering a biological response. They are buying real estate in your subconscious. Some of them have even legally claimed ownership of the rainbow itself. Welcome to the invisible war for your wallet. In the year 2000, the H.J. Heinz company, one of the most successful food manufacturers in human history, decided to run an experiment. They asked a simple question: if we change the color of our product, will people buy more of it? They launched Easy Squirt Ketchup. It came in blastin' green, funky purple, stellar blue. On paper, it was a marketing genius move. Kids loved the novelty. Sales spiked immediately, capturing 60% of the ketchup market almost overnight. It looked like a victory. But then something strange happened. The sales crashed. The novelty wore off. And the product line was quietly killed just a few years later. Why? Because while the conscious mind of the child thought it was fun, the unconscious mind of the parent, the one actually buying the groceries, was screaming that purple food is poisonous. Heinz had violated a fundamental law of color psychology. They fought evolution, and evolution won. So how does a company like Tiffany Co. turn a specific shade of blue into an asset worth billions? How does McDonald's use red and yellow to physically increase your heart rate and make you eat faster? And why are almost all tech giants blue, while almost all fast food chains are red? That is the question we are answering today. We are going to break down the physics, the biology, and the cold, hard economics of color. We will look at how color isn't just decoration. It is a functional economic moat that separates the winners from the bankrupt. This is Strategy Unlocked. To understand business, we must first understand biology. Human beings are trichromats. We have 3 types of cones in our eyes, sensitive to blue, green, and red light. This isn't an accident. It is an evolutionary legacy. For millions of years, our ancestors were foragers. Identifying a ripe red berry against a backdrop of green leaves wasn't just a skill. It was the difference between eating and starving. Simultaneously, the color red is the color of blood. It is the color of the flush in a rival's face when they are angry, or a mate's face when they are aroused. Red is the color of urgency. When you see red, your body reacts physically. Your pituitary gland activates. Your heart rate elevates slightly. Your breath creates a micropulse of anticipation. This is why sale signs are red. It's not a tradition. It's a trigger. They are hijacking your fight-or-flight response to create a buy-or-miss-out anxiety. Now contrast this with blue. In nature, blue is rare in food. There are no blue leafy vegetables. There is no blue meat. Blueberries are actually purple. In nature, blue is the sky and the water. It is constant. It is distant. It is reliable. Blue lowers the heart rate. It signals stability. Now look at the Fortune 500. If you are asking someone to give you their money, their data, or their trust, you do not use red. You use blue. This is why the tech industry is washed in blue. Facebook, Twitter, historically, LinkedIn, Dell, HP, IBM. They are effectively saying, we are not dangerous. We are stable. We are infrastructure. Trust us, but if you want someone to act impulsively, you go to the other end of the spectrum. Fast food isn't just selling calories. They are selling speed. This brings us to the ketchup and mustard theory. The combination of red, stimulation, hunger, and yellow, happiness, visibility, is the most visually arresting combination for the human eye. It creates a sense of unease. It says come in, eat quickly, and get out. It is a designed environment to maximize table turnover. If McDonald's painted their walls a soothing slate blue, you might linger over your fries for an hour. That is bad for business. They need you to chew, swallow, and leave. Color is the invisible manager of the store, telling you exactly how to behave. But what happens when a color becomes more than just a psychological trigger? What happens when it becomes property? In 1845, Charles Louis Tiffany selected a specific shade of turquoise for the cover of his Blue Book catalog. It was a robin's egg blue. Over the next century, Tiffany Co. didn't just use this color, they weaponized it. They made a rule. No blue box leaves the store unless it contains a sold item. You cannot buy the box. You cannot trade for the box. The box is the proof of the purchase. The color itself became the product. The jewelry inside was almost secondary. The feeling of luxury was encoded in that specific frequency of light. But here is the strategic masterstroke. In 1998, Tiffany Co. did something audacious. They filed for a trademark on the color itself. Most people don't know you can trademark a color. You can, but it is incredibly difficult. You have to prove that the color has acquired secondary meaning, that when a consumer sees that color, even with no logo present, they immediately think of your brand. Tiffany succeeded. The color is not available in the Pantone swatch book you can buy. It is a custom formulation. Pantone calls it 1837 Blue, named after the year Tiffany was founded. It is a private color. Think about the power of that. If a competitor tries to use that blue to sell jewelry, Tiffany can sue them. They have legally fenced off a section of the visual spectrum. They aren't the only ones. UPS owns the trademark for Pullman Brown in the context of delivery services. Deutsche Telekom T-Mobile owns a trademark on their specific shade of magenta. They have famously sued other companies for using it. Christian Louboutin owns the trademark for red soles on women's high-heeled shoes. This is the ultimate efficiency in marketing. When you own the color, you don't need to print your logo. A brown truck is UPS. A blue box is Tiffany. If you are building a brand, ask yourself, is your color distinct enough that you could one day own it? Or are you just painting by numbers? However, there is a trap. And it is a trap that has destroyed millions of dollars in marketing budget. It is the trap of context. We like to say green means go or green means nature, but that is a lie. Color has no intrinsic meaning. It only has associative meaning based on context. Let's look at the financial sector. In the stock market, green means profit. It means growth. It is good. But place that same green on a slice of bread. Now green means rot. It means penicillin. It means sickness. Place that same green on a computer motherboard. Now it means technology. This brings us to the pink tax and the gender aisle. For decades, marketers believed that to sell to women, you simply shrink it and pink it. Take a razor, make it smaller, paint it pink, and charge 10 more. For a long time, this worked due to cultural conditioning. But modern strategy has shifted. Apple famously destroyed the beige box. In the 1990s, all computers were putty beige. It was the color of bureaucracy, the color of boredom. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple, he didn't just change the processor. He applied piano black and medical white to electronics. The white iPod didn't look like technology. It looked like a sterile, high-end appliance. It looked like the future. By rejecting the industry standard color, beige black, Apple signaled that they were not in the same category as Dell or HP. The color white communicated simplicity and premium before the customer even touched the device. Now look at McDonald's again. In the last decade, something interesting has happened to the golden arches, specifically in Europe. They have started replacing the red backgrounds with deep hunter green. Why? Because the context changed. In the 80s and 90s, the goal was fast, red was perfect. But in the 2020s, the cultural conversation is about health, sustainability, and ethics. Red looks like processed food, green looks like fresh ingredients. McDonald's is cynically but brilliantly using color to reframe their narrative from cheap burgers to sustainable coffee shop. They are repainting their reputation. Here is the secret that ties all of this together. We tend to think of branding as art. We think of it as a logo that a designer sketches on a napkin. But the most successful strategies treat color as code. Just like a developer writes code to tell a computer what to do, a strategist uses color to tell the human brain what to feel. When you see the Tiffany blue, your brain fires a signal for luxury before you can articulate the word. When you see the clearance red, your brain fires a signal for urgency. When you see the bank blue, your brain fires a signal for trust. The aha moment is this: you are not fighting for attention. You are fighting for cognitive fluency. The human brain is lazy. It wants to burn as few calories as possible. If your brand color matches the expectation of the category, like blue for a bank, the brain accepts it easily. It feels right, but if you want to disrupt a category, you must break that fluency. You must be the purple cow in a field of black and white. You must be the white iPod in a sea of beige computers. The masters of strategy know exactly when to follow the rules of our biology and exactly when to break them. We're about to discuss how you can apply this to your own business, but first, a quick note. We spend dozens of hours researching these strategies to help you decode the business world. If you just had an aha moment about why you bought that last product, do us a favor. Hit the like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this video, like the color red, is worth paying attention to. And subscribe if you want to unlock more insider strategies. Now, what can we learn from this? Number 1. Don't guess. Test. Heinz failed with purple ketchup because they assumed novelty outweighed biology. They didn't respect the lizard brain. If you are launching a product, test your colors against the emotional response you want, not just what looks cool. Number 2. Own your lanes. If you are in a crowded market, look at the color wheel of your competitors. If everyone is blue, be orange. If everyone is loud, be quiet. Differentiation is the only survival strategy. Number 3. Consistency is currency. Tiffany didn't own blue by using it once. They owned it by using it on everything for 150 years. You can't own a color if you change your brand palette every 2 years. Pick your flag and plant it. Business is a game of margins. And sometimes the winning margin is just a wavelength of light. If you learn something new, hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy breakdowns. And let us know in the comments, what company's strategy should we unlock next?